I am just testing out some temporary window coverings for my upcoming trip starting next week. These are supposed to be blackout curtains, and well, I don't think they're going to be totally blacked out. But by the time I have my windshield cover in and it's dark, I think it'll be okay. If not, I'll find a dark backing to put up there as well. This came out of my minivan. I love this material, and I would like to incorporate it in here somehow. I definitely need to put a few more magnets in there to keep it up for now. And then I needed something for security or privacy more than anything along the back windows. And I got this beautiful material from my friend Julie. And again, I will have to find some black material to back it with eventually. I think what I'm going to do in the meantime, because I don't have any walls up yet, is during the day I will move them over to the side panels. So I am going to do that right now, and I will be back in just a minute to show you how that really works out. I made the tweaks on this particular panel and added some stronger magnets so it hangs up there just nice. It's not really quite long enough for that wall, but hey, it's temporary. It's going to be just fine. This one actually turned out quite perfect for the length. It covers up quite a bit of it, and by the time I get stuff in here, who's going to notice it? I may have this panel up before I go. I'm not real sure yet. I need to do some insulating, which I plan to do today or tomorrow, or tomorrow. So hopefully that wall panel will be up and in place. And eventually I will have the ceiling done, but that's going to be a while yet. But to get me going on my trip, this is going to work just fine. It doesn't match. It doesn't have to match. It just has to cover the bare bones. So, with that being said, I'm going to go with it as is. As you notice, the floor is missing some plywood right now. I have these pieces pulled out so that I can get the sanding and priming done and put them back in. But whatever happens with them, they'll be in here for my trip. Originally, I was not going to show you this because it sure isn't pretty, but I decided to because it's an accomplishment. Now, you know I'm not a professional on anything, but the idea that I set out to do something and I accomplished what I set out to do. And that's what we all need to keep in mind, is we accomplish something. It may not be pretty or perfect, but you know what? It doesn't have to. I accomplished something. And this afternoon, I am going to come out here and I'm going to put my wall panel up here. Now, I did not get any insulation stuck into the top portion, and I'm sure there's lots of air behind there. I did get it behind this smallest portion here. And then I got to thinking, well, you know, this is really only a temporary wall anyhow until I can get the money together to put up the paneling, the wood paneling that I want to put in, and I can always finish insulating it at that point. So for now, I am going to call this wall accomplished, and it will be completed when I get the wall panel put on. But right now, my girl is telling me she wants some lunch, so that's what we're going to do, is we're going to go have some lunch. I will see you in a bit. So speaking of my little girl, my little supervisor, right here she is. And she says, "Come on, Mom, let's go get some lunch." Ha, got one in. These are a little tougher going in than they were coming out. Well, it took me a few minutes to learn how to do this in reverse. That's why these little rivets come in two pieces. Because they need to squeeze in and then expand, and this is what helps them expand, is that button. Now that I've learned that, I should be able to proceed quite quickly. Oh, that one doesn't line up with the holes. Now what? Well, it took me a little bit of fidgeting to figure out how to work these. I've always been more of a hands-on learner than I have been reading instructions. But anyhow, these little rivets come in two pieces for a reason, and that is because they need to be able to fit into the hole, and then they need the cap piece to help expand it to hold it in there. And I also figured out that I had it originally in the wrong holes. I had them up here and they belong down here. So it makes it fit a whole lot easier if you put it in the right place. So I'm just going to pop a few of these into place for now, just to show you how easy it really is once you figure it out. I will have to do some retouching of paint, and my fear was that this would chip off real easy, and I was right. And that's the reason why these are only going to be temporary panels until I can get the wood that I want on here. Now this is going to work. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And it really is quite easy. And my supervisor is peeking out the back door, peeking in the back door. Oh, here she comes. Are you coming to make sure I'm working? Come on in here. Yeah, I hear the siren. Well, I will give you a close-up view now of these little rivets. They come in 2 pieces. Just so simple, really, when you understand it. Maybe I'm too close, but anyhow, they're just little plastic rivets. And the bottom piece, as you can see, needs to expand to hold it in, but it needs to go in a little bit in order to get it back in. Be a little flexible. You pop the top piece in to make it expand, and that will hold it in. Easy peasy. Yeah, this stuff chips real easy. I may have just wasted a whole lot of money. But you gotta learn somehow. Learning experience is always a good thing. Even if it didn't turn out the way you thought it should, it's still an accomplishment. And it's something I will keep in mind when it comes to the other panels. These may be the only ones that get put in place. That's not the right size. I've also realized that I should have been doing opposite corners rather than straight along. But I'm going to make it work, I think. Okay, panel installed, panel chipped up, panel would get a little bit of repair done, and then I could start loading this baby up for my trip. Well, here's another little experiment that I am going to try. I am going to see if this peel and stick wallpaper piece that I got from Dollar Tree will stick to any part of this panel. And I've had this particular pattern for quite some time, It's what I used on the recessed panels of my sideboard cabinet that I used in the minivan. And it will probably be used at least for a little while in this van. But rather than waste the whole sheet of paper, I am just going to cut off a small piece and stick it on there and see if it happens to work at all. I don't have a whole lot of hopes for it, but I'm going to give it a try. And like I said, it's only going to be a small piece. This is probably bigger than what I really need it to be, but I'm willing to sacrifice that much just to figure it out. And if it doesn't work, it's no big deal, because like I said, this is just a temporary thing anyhow until I can get the wood that I want. Of course, the other part of it is getting the backing started. We may be a while. If we are, I'll speed it up. Aha, voila. I'm going to just stick it right here in the middle where I know I haven't put any paint, touch-up paint, and we'll just work with that for now to see what it does. Might be surprising. If this does work, I might go down and buy more, different pattern, and apply it, and we'll see what happens. So now I'm going to load up my van and get ready for my trip this weekend. So of course the first thing that goes in any camper is always the bed. You gotta have something to sleep on. So it's always the first thing that I put in anyhow. Maybe nobody else does, but I do. And I'm using the Coleman cot that I used in Minivan Go. And for now, she's just going to tuck in wherever I can find room for it. Oh, she fits right over that nicely. This is a nice thick pad that came on a lounger that I had bought, and I had used it in Minivan Go originally until I realized that I didn't measure things properly and that lounger was just way too long. I still have the lounger, but I don't use her for camping because I will be using my Coleman. I could probably fit the lounger in here, but I'm not going to struggle with it now that I've got this one out here. So on with the mattress. Oh, soft and comfy mattress. I'm looking forward to this. I sleep so good on this particular mattress. It was just a foam mattress I cut down to fit this cot, but it is comfy, so I'll be looking for another one like it when it comes time for my permanent bed in here. Come in. Turn around here. That's a good girl. How are you? You know my supervisor, Jazzy, and she knows that we're getting ready to go camping again soon. Where are you heading, huh? Hey, you're blocking the view. Nobody wants to see your butt. Turn around here. So anyhow, we're getting ready, and I gotta make this just as comfy for her as it is for me. Hey, turn around and say hello to everybody. Yeah, those people over there. Okay, go. Goodbye, supervisor. You checked on me. You're a good girl, yes. Go play. Before I take a break for lunch, I decided I'd just show you what I've done so far this morning. I've got the cot in, the bed made. I don't have it anchored down yet, but that will be after lunch. I have my sideboard cabinet in. It is totally empty. I will anchor it down before I fill it up. The carpet that came out of Minivan Go is in place for now, as well as the puzzle mats that I've had. I'll be putting carpet over that for now, but they're in the wash. And like I said, the carpet is for Jazzy's comfort. I have a few other pieces that I need to bring in here, like the kitchenette that I made. And it will probably sit over here near the wheel well. I'm not sure where it's going to sit. I'll find out where it fits. But tomorrow we'll be loading it up with all the goodies that I really need to take with me. And I'll be rolling down the road. So I will see you after I have my lunch. I've got the van somewhat ready to roll for my trip that starts on Sunday, and I will be putting the rest of the stuff in here tomorrow because David will be here and I need his help. But I managed to get this stuff done. As you can see, I've got my cot set up. Jazzy's bed is right there beside mine. And the green cabinet is where I'm going to have my clothing. I'm going to have some wasted space right now over that wheel well, but that's the way it is. My kitchenette that I built will be sitting right there. And of course I have my sideboard cabinet. You can see I've got my walls in. My jackery will be sitting on the bottom shelf, and some little odds and ends to fill in that gap up there on the top. Last year I think I used it for some dirty clothes. So let me step back here real quick. For now, I'm just going to have my set power sitting right here with the Blue Eddy beside it. That will all be changed when I get the final thing going. Got that, the final thing. Hey, have a good evening. I'm back out finishing up loading the van. I got my kitchenette put in. I'm going to have my son put my refrigerator up on the top of it where it usually rides. But Jazzy's all ready to go. Look at that. I think she's all set. Are you all set, sweetie? Are you all set to go for a big ride? Are we going to go see some girls and some other friends? Yeah, I think she's going to like the view. She could sit in the door right there and watch what's happening. Or she can go back and lay on her bed. Like I said, I have a few things that I've got to bring out and put in here. I've got to load up my kitchenette yet, and I've got to pack my clothes. And, of course, the refrigerator will be packed in the morning. But everything else is in here. that I plan on taking on this trip, and I'm sure it'll work out just fine. So I'm getting anxious. I probably won't sleep much tonight because I always get anxious before a trip. And it is what it is. And as long as I've got my little girl with me, hey Jazzy, look over your shoulder. That's a good girl. Tell everybody, see you down the road.